Hi everyone, you're watching the Try3 Science video for Wednesday, May 13th. So at this point in the week, Monday and Tuesdays assignments should be finished. You should have done both the CK12 section 2.3 and 2.4. Remember, each one of those has a Google Notes doc. That will get you 10 points for completing that. And you also needed to watch the Edpuzzle video and answer those questions and submit them. That will get you your other 10 points. So at this point in the week, you could have earned up to 40 points so far. So let's see what we've got going on for today. We're going to do our first stations lab. I've divided it into two sections. I've reduced it to 6 stations. So you're going to do 3 for today and the last 3 for tomorrow, for Thursday, and that'll round out your week. So our objectives are to be able to describe potential and kinetic energy, to identify potential and kinetic energy in systems, and to explain how energy transfers from potential to kinetic and back again. So the potential and kinetic energy stations lab that we're going to do is in a Google form this time. So obviously you won't be walking around and going to different stations, picking up pages and picking up envelopes with cards in them, but we're still going to be doing the same material. I have just put it all into one big Google Doc for you. So I want to talk about that. I want to show you the Google Doc and let you know how to do that. So when you go to your Google Classroom and open up the link to this Google form, this is what you will see. So all of the information that you need to be able to turn this in is contained within this Google Doc. So first of all, I want you to add your email address here, and that's how I will send you your feedback. You need to have your first and your last name. So those are the only 3 items that you're going to see are required with this little red asterisk there. So those are required. The reason we're doing that is so that you can stop this and come back later and resubmit it. Also, make sure you check your correct class period. At the top of your Google Classroom, it tells you what your class period is. You're either period C, F, H, or I. So make sure that you're checking the correct class period there. So those are the ones that you have to fill out to get started. And I've given you a few directions right here. So when you're working on this, you can submit this as many times as you like. You get one submission, but you can make changes to that same submission over and over up until the due date. So that's what I mean by you can continue to submit. It'll be the same form, but you can make changes, you can stop, save it, and come back to it and finish it up. That's why we're going to do 3 stations on Wednesday and 3 stations on Thursday. So the first reminder is make sure you hit the submit anytime you stop working on the form so that you don't lose your answers. You can edit your answers or return later to complete the stations. Go back to the link your teacher gave you, which is on your Google Classroom, for the form, click it, then click edit your response. So if you click submit every time you go to leave this form, you can come back to the link and click edit, and you'll be able to pick up where you left off. When you're all done and you're all completed and ready to turn it in, you want to click submit for the final time. So there's a reminder here at the beginning of this, and this reminder is at the bottom again. Let me show you in the view as to what yours is going to look like exactly. So you'll see this. Okay, you'll see your reminders. Then station number 1 is the Watch It station. So for this station, you want to click on the link below to go to the Study Jams site. There you'll click on the green play video button to watch the video, then answer the questions below. So when you click on this, I want to show you what it's going to look like. So here's the video you want to watch. Click the play video button right here, and it'll start right up for you. Okay, we're not going to do the whole thing, but I just wanted to show you where it was. Okay, then after you've watched that video, you want to come down here and answer the Watch It task questions. So these go with the Watch It station. So for number 1, based on what you learned in the video, give a complete definition of energy. Number 2, what's the difference between potential and kinetic energy? And number 3, after watching the video, describe a situation where an object would have potential energy transformed into kinetic energy. So type your answer to those 3 questions. The next station is station number 2, the Research It station. So this has another link for you. Click on the link below to go to the website Energy in a Roller Coaster Ride. Click on the blue launch button to begin. Click the green play button to watch the simulation. Pay attention to how the potential and kinetic energy change in the graph. Then use the green step button to watch each part of the simulation. It kind of shows you in slow motion. And continue watching until you can answer the questions below. So when you click on this link, I'll show you what that one looks like. So the blue launch button is right here in the middle, so you'll want to launch that. And you'll see this simulation. So here we can see that the red is the potential energy and the blue is the kinetic energy. Here it shows the velocity of the roller coaster, which is like the speed. And this is the play. This will play the simulation all the way through, and then this will show you one step at a time. So I'll show you the play first. So you can watch the graph and see how the amounts of potential and kinetic energy change as the roller coaster goes clear through the track, beginning to end. Okay, now that goes a little fast to see what happens at each part. So when you click the step button, here we have step 1 is at the top of the hill. You can see it is all potential energy. So this car has all potential energy, no kinetic right now. So now it's going to move from 1 to 2. What do you think the energy transformation is going to be? So you can watch it and see. So now we have it changing all to kinetic energy because it's in motion, right? So now at the bottom of the hill, it doesn't have any stored energy. It's all been used in kinetic energy. So when it goes back up the hill, back up to station 3 and 4, what do you think is going to happen? Watch the graph. So now as it goes up the hill, it's starting to gain some potential energy. As it goes up the hill farther, up the loop, it gains even more potential energy. Now it doesn't gain 100% potential energy because it never got up to the same height as this first hill. This first hill was 100%. Okay, so now it has potential energy that should take it through the rest of the course. So let's see what happens when it goes from points 4 to 5. Okay, now at the bottom, it's changed all of its potential energy to kinetic. So as it goes up the hill, what happens from 5 to 6? Regains a little more potential energy, and that potential energy will take it to the end. So you can watch that as many times as you need and then go back to the questions. At what point along the track is the potential energy the greatest? Gives you 4 choices there. When is the kinetic energy at its greatest? So it gives you 3 choices. So this one was asking about potential energy at its greatest. This one is asking about kinetic energy at its greatest. And this one, at what point along the track is the car's velocity the greatest? So you want to check, I don't know if I showed you, but you want to check, roller coaster. Here is where the velocity is listed. So you want to watch as that changes as your roller coaster. Watch it as your roller coaster goes along the track. You can see it change. And when you do it step by step, it slows it down so that you can read it better. Okay, so you should be able to answer those questions. And it's noted in the simulation that it does not include energy loss from friction. It actually says that right here. Does not include energy loss from friction. So if friction is present, how would the car's travel change? So give me a prediction as to if we were looking at friction, how would that change it? Okay, station 3 is read it. Here is your read it page, just like you would have had in class. Potential and kinetic energy, so read the information there, look at the picture, and then answer these questions. What's the force that acts upon a roller coaster after it reaches the top of the hill? At which position does the roller coaster have the greatest potential energy? And another word for kinetic energy could be blank energy. And the last question, number 4, using the diagram on the reading, at which point would the cars be losing potential energy and gaining kinetic? So there's your choices. Okay, at this point, if you get this far at the end of Wednesday, you can stop, click submit, and it will save your work. You can save the last 3 stations for Thursday, or you can continue on with them and get them finished, and that way you only have the end of the week quiz to take on Thursday. So I'm going to continue talking about this, the next 3 stations, but this is actually what you would want to do for Thursday. So don't feel that you have to do more than 3 stations on Wednesday. You can if you'd like, but you can also save the last 3 for Thursday. So the Write It station. I want you to watch the short video of this giant pendulum that this guy makes with a bowling ball on a rope. Pay special attention to the motion of the pendulum. So once you've watched that, then there are a couple questions for you to ask. Explain the motion of the pendulum using the terms kinetic energy and potential energy. So the hint is, when does it show each type of energy, and when is there a conversion from one to another? So describe what happens with the pendulum in terms of potential and kinetic energy. The second part, explain why the bowling ball doesn't swing back and hit the man in the face. Oh, I should have told you, spoiler alert there. But it doesn't hit him in the face. It comes close, but it doesn't hit him. So I want you to explain why that is using some science terms. And another spoiler, the bowling ball does break the glass the second time he does a trial. So I want you to explain why that is. He does something different between the 2 trials. So explain why the glass breaks when his face didn't. All right, station 5 is the Assess It. So this is kind of like the test. It's got 4 multiple choice questions that you can pick your answers to. This is a good review. This last one, you'll use this little diagram of the roller coaster. And for the last station, station number 6 is Organize It. So we don't have cards to slide around on our desk, but we can classify these items, these descriptions, as either showing kinetic energy or showing potential energy. So read the description, like the pendulum at its highest point. Is that kinetic energy or is that potential energy? Okay, so you're at the bottom. Remember, these reminders are down here at the bottom for you again. Make sure you hit submit anytime you stop working on the form. So you do not have to do this all at once, but make sure you hit this blue submit button whenever you go to stop. Then the next time, even though it says you've already responded, if you click the edit your response button, you'll be able to jump right back into it. And then when you're all done, click submit for the final time. So for Wednesday, you want to complete at least watch it, research it, and read it. And for Thursday, you want to complete Write It, Assess It, and Organize It. And make sure you turn that in by the end of the day on Thursday. Okay, we've talked about those directions. Please email me or stop in office hours if you don't understand how to do this. If you're having difficulty, I can show you and explain it to you again. Daily reminders. You guys did a really good job watching the videos this week, so continue to do that. Make sure you're opening your assignments and working on them, and that if you don't know what you're doing or if you get stuck, make sure you get the help you need. I have postponed or kind of temporarily canceled live science classes. We had lack of participation, and so I think I'm going to try being in office hours 1 to 2 and 3 to 4 instead of having that live class time 1 to 2. For the few of you that showed up, I appreciate that. I think maybe you guys want to spend your time popping into office hours, asking your question, then being able to leave instead of making an hour-long commitment to class, so I get that. And if later in the trimester there's a need for our daily science class, again, our live class, or if people are struggling and I think it would help, then we always have the option to bring that back. Also, be aware this week of an email that's going to go out regarding honors. We're going to do some pre-honors work starting in week 3 until the end of our trimester, and that may involve a live science class also. Okay, remember that assignments are due every night by 11:59, so don't procrastinate. And do your stations, because I need your answers. All right, guys, good luck on the stations lab. Stop in and see me in my office hours if you need help, and thanks for watching.